Hey guys, this is Wildcat Chris Harris, TNA original and one half of 6-time TNA World Tag Team Champions, America's Most Wanted. You are listening to the TNA Cross the Line podcast.
TNA Wrestling, Cross the Line.
And we're back with episode 267 of the TNA Cross the Line podcast. I am Bob Colling Jr. With me, as always, is Dallas Gridley. Dallas, we had a pretty enjoyable episode of Impact last week, so we're back for another week of TNA Impact. Last week, we had a match between Christian Cage and Sting, where Sting put his number one contendership on the line, and our boy Tomko. And by our boy, I mean my boy, because I don't think you're really a big fan of Tomko. Tomko made his TNA debut assisting Christian Cage. And it was basically thrown out as a no contest. So Sting's, I guess, technically still the number one contender. How are we feeling? Do we think it's going to be a triple threat for Turning Point? I'm thinking it's going to be.
I actually would not hate that. I didn't think about that before, but I think that's a great idea. So I say, yeah, let's do it. I think we should book it. Yeah, I think that would work. I mean, if not, then yeah, Sting is just kind of the number contender at this point. Because he lost the title last, so Sting promised Christian a match against him, not against Abyss, so sorry, bud.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter anymore. Tomko, his debut, I like because I like that Christian has some muscle behind him. I think that it's going to be interesting to see how it develops. I don't know if in general, like I'm a big Tomko guy, but maybe in my adult life now, rewatching, I will have a new respect for him. So I'm open to see how it turns out.
Well, and that's the mature way of going about it.
That's right. That's how I like to think about it. Also, Bob, that's right. I need to make a correction because last week, we saw Eric Young in this turkey outfit throughout a lot of the show, and we'll talk about the matches in momentarily. But I thought our episode today was the Thanksgiving episode. It was actually, last episode was actually Thanksgiving. I thought it was a little too early, but I guess it wasn't. I looked it up after we were done. Yeah,
so I kind of figured that it was.
Yeah, I made a mistake.
It's always like the fourth Thursday?
Yeah, and so what I got confused about is what we'll get into here shortly, but they mentioned TNA on Thanksgiving ratings, and for some reason that went way over my head that it wasn't last episode. Mm-hmm. So anyways, we'll get into it, but let's do a quick rundown of the card. It was a pretty short card, but a lot happened during the show, as we know. At first, we saw AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels defeat the Naturals. There's no times on Cage Match for some reason, but Eric Young defeated Robert Roode, who then got very mad at Ms. Brooks again. And then, as Bob already noted, Sting and Christian Cage went to a no contest. We also saw LAX interrupt the national anthem as Petey Williams and Jim Cornette raised the flag above the impact zone. They were supposed to give up their tag team titles. They did not. AMW went to make the save, and then even Kurt Angle came out and helped fight off LAX, which is kind of wild. And then after that, Samoa Joe came out and wanted a rematch, and Kurt said, listen, if you have my back, I'll have your back until Turning Point. You can have your rematch. That was within about a 10-minute segment.
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing. Everything I just said. That's a lot. We can't forget that the Voodoo Kin Mafia, Bob, they are doing Operation Cease and Desist. They're going after the WWE. They found the headquarters at the end, after credits of our last episode. What is going to happen on this episode? I don't know.
Probably nothing good.
They are sick of corny segments, and yet they were doing them. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're a funny group of guys. You know,
They really are. They really are funny. I don't know if they're funny in the way they want to be, but they are funny.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we can just dive right in. We don't have a ton of pre-show notes, and then we'll have some during the show as well. But it should be fun here. Let's talk about the ratings, like I just mentioned. So TNA on Thanksgiving, our last episode, did a 0.86 with a 0.8 in males 18 to 49, and a 0.76 in males 18 to 34. And 957,000 viewers. And this is actually from Alvarez. So he says that TNA should be doing cartwheels in the streets since Thanksgiving typically is the lowest rated night of wrestling for the year. And he points out the quarters, which actually I wonder if Dave Meltzer breaks down the quarters a little bit more. I don't know if I remember seeing that for this one or not, to be honest with you. No, I don't see it. Oh, wait. No. It is not seeming to break out the quarter, so. Okay, anyway, moving on.
So what was the overall rating?
The overall was a 0.86.
Okay.
But on Thanksgiving night, so that's not bad.
No, I'm just, yeah, I feel like that's higher than what they have gotten before on a non-holiday.
Right. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
We have some notes from a Jeff Jarrett press conference with Spike TV last week, and he apparently talked for nearly 2 hours. So as you could imagine, I'm not covering the entire thing. I just got some highlights for you. He apparently talked. They asked him a lot about holding Vince McMahon up for money, and he has to say he's here to talk about TNA, not WWE. So that's first off.
They're still talking. Okay, so they're talking about that even in 2006.
Yeah, dude. That's the first question that he was asked.
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy is that it's really just money that he was owed. Anyway.
It's pretty interesting. He does talk about it, but anyway. He talks about TNA drug testing policy. He claimed they dealt directly with individuals who needed help, and that if there was a problem with the person, they'd work something out. In other words, this is what Alvarez says. In other words, no, TNA doesn't have a drug policy where dudes get randomly tested and punishments are laid down in accordance with said policy. This is what I will say about TNA and drugs based on the following. The company since the inception. If someone has a problem and approaches TNA saying they want to work out the issue, without question, TNA will be accommodating. So Alvarez didn't say all of that. He just says the no part, but fun stuff. Regarding Monday nights, he said if going head-to-head with Raw was the best idea, then he'd do it. But for now, Thursdays was a good viewership night with a fine time slot. He seemed to indicate there was little chance of Goldberg or Ultimate Warrior coming in. And just as Alvarez says here, who the fuck would want to see Warrior in 2006? Yeah. He talks a little bit about Russo. Yeah, I know. He talks a little bit about Russo, good or bad, whatever. Once I got opinion, blah, blah, blah. Now, what I really like, so he basically talks about that they want to play on Russo's strengths, and he'll admit that Russo has some strengths and some not. But in the same interview, Jarrett noted that the worst thing that TNA ever did. Okay, I want you to guess. Just guess one thing. If you could think in our entire podcast history, what is the worst thing that you think Jeff Jarrett would say was the worst thing they ever did?
I mean, is it in terms of like a promotional thing, or is it?
It's. I don't even know what to consider it. It's a mixture of a match and also, I guess, in a weird way, a storyline.
Is it the Asylum years?
It's the Asylum years.
Okay.
You're gonna laugh when you hear it.
The worst thing that they would have done in the Asylum years. I don't know.
Okay.
There's a lot, but I don't know.
The Dup Cup.
Yeah, I don't even think that was going to be anywhere near my list.
I know. So he said that was the worst thing they ever did, which, by the way, is a Vince Russo creation. So he claimed that Russo and Cornette may not like each other, but would be able to coexist. he was asked if Joe and Angle was the most important main event ever, and he said every main event was the most important. Funny. They asked about the TV being too rushed, and he didn't seem to see that as a problem at all, saying that they had only 4 hours of TV to push a 3-hour pay-per-view, and noted that it limited the amount of time they could be given to all of the great TNA talents. They asked about the TNA show in Connecticut that got shut down, and he said in all his years in the business, he'd never heard of 2 shows shut down in 2 different cities. He insisted that someone was responsible for this, someone who didn't want to see TNA run. Now remember, it sounds like they just potentially didn't have the right paperwork for that, but they are insisting that WWE shut that down. I mean, maybe they had to play a part in it, who knows? But anyway, he said that going live would be great, but at the same time, it would be also a major benefit to tape to be able to do the post-production. And the funniest thing that was, after all these years, he's still claiming that the reason that Hogan never came to TNA after Jeff Jarrett conked him with the guitar in Japan was because of Hogan's health issues.
Yeah.
So
then why was he wrestling in WWE?
Yeah. Pretty funny. Pretty funny. I have a couple leftover little bonus Genesis notes for you about the Sting match and the Kurt Angle Samoa Joe match. So the Kurt Angle Samoa Joe match at Genesis was booked for 25 minutes. And Kurt had basically not wanted to go 30 minutes. If he thought that I think he would have went 30 minutes if he thought it would have been better. Now, a lot of people who were aware of this were shocked when he went home early. And to the best of our knowledge, nobody had an explanation of it other than Angle. It was Angle's call. And when he called for the finish, then they wrapped it up. Again, while Angle never gave an explanation, the consensus among wrestlers that he got tired way early and called it, pointing to the fact that he told Joe about a spot where he would give him 10 straight German suplexes. Going in, this was a big deal because Joe was such a big guy to do that spot with. And on the third one, you could see him give out, and he didn't try for a fourth and went pretty quickly to the end from there. So, they wrapped it. Now, as noted last week, everyone on the show was told to stay within their parameters and not go over because they wanted 30 minutes left for the Angle versus Joe because they were aware that everyone was buying for that match of the idea to produce the match of the year. That's a heavy goal. Worse, they basically were advertising it ahead of time that it was. So they tried, but he went home early. Now, the Sting and Abyss finish was botched and wasn't well received, but that was attributed to the botch, but they were surprised at the LAX title stripping reaction, so they're surprised about that. But anyways, the booked plan for the Sting Abyss finish was that Sting would throw Abyss into the barbed wire lace table before the DQ. The DQ would come immediately after as Sting would have snapped and was going to throw Rudy Charles into the barbed wire as well. At that point, there would be justification that you can't do that to a ref, and a DQ is called. Instead, when Sting threw down Charles, Charles called for the bell. Dave says that I didn't know this to be the case, but that probably explains the hesitation in making the call about the title change after the bell rang because they were waiting for the ref to go into the barbed wire. But even with the issues underneath, the feeling was as long as the show was decent that the Angle and Joe would be able to pull it out. So,
Jesus Christ. So you're telling me that he was going to throw the ref into the barbed wire table?
Apparently.
Oh, my God.
He was going to snap. I don't know. Pretty interesting.
I feel like Rudy wouldn't be upset with that not happening.
I couldn't imagine why he would be upset about it not happening.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I have just a couple more, and then we're going to talk about that house show, which I'll let you do the card for when we get there, and then I have a little bit of a note about it. But before that, Spike and TNA are closer now than ever before after the special that we had, the primetime special. From a Spike standpoint, the 1.0 was proof that TNA in primetime can be competitive in bringing in a new audience to the station. Since they chart these things, they know a lot of the 11 p.m. ratings when they were good were the UFC fans sticking around. And without UFC, the show didn't do so well. The 8 p.m. lead-in as CSI which draws mostly older women, and the entire CSI audience leaves Spike at 9 p.m. to watch CSI up-to-date shows on CBS. So basically, TNA had no lead-in benefit. Spike's people want to get behind TNA big in promotions starting imminently. It's to the point that if there is a 2-hour show on a weekly basis, that would mean moving Ultimate Fighter off Thursdays when it returns in April. So that's a pretty big deal. We will see what happens.
Wait
last,
a minute.
Yeah.
How is the Ultimate Fighter? Is that a 2-hour show in itself? I don't think that. I thought.
I don't know that. That I don't know.
Because you could do Ultimate Fighter 8 to 9 and then Impact 9 to 11.
You could do that, yeah, that's true.
But I don't know if I don't know. Ultimate Fighter might have been 2 hours.
I'm not sure. From personal conversations and multiple reports, the consensus, particularly among those in the X division, is very negative regarding the current direction and Vince Russo.
This guy's been here less than 2 months and it's already bad.
I know. Dave says I'm still getting mixed in that people who liked him still do, and the people who have no confidence in him haven't changed their minds either. The reaction to Angle has also changed greatly over the past week plus. It's starting to be the same reaction as in WWE. Angle is taking a super hands-on approach, talking to everyone about their matches, promos, and rubbing people the wrong way when he tells wrestlers that he's the greatest wrestler of all time. It's one thing for others to say that he's one of the greatest, but you sure don't tell other wrestlers that when you are critiquing them. Mm-hmm. He's also telling them that he's going to be running the company. Right now, for public consumption, Jeff Jarrett is 100% sticking up for Angle as he has to. The one thing is, no matter how erratic people say Angle's behavior is, and the company has to be vigilant to protect Angle from himself health-wise, he still has the ability to protect himself like a major superstar to the viewing public, far more than anyone else on the roster. So, apparently he's telling Chris Sabin that he should roll around in a pig pen. Wasn't received very well.
That's just insane.
We talked about that last week.
That's an incredible suggestion.
Pretty cool. Okay. On that note, Bob, let's wrap up our notes here with this TNA house show in Monterey. I'll let you do the card first, and then I have a brief note that we can talk about quick.
Okay, so I'll run down the results of this really quick. So it took place on November 25th. It was at the arena. It was on Cage Match. It says the attendance was around 4,000, and you said it seats like 14,000.
It's something like that. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, so that's not even half full. America's Most Wanted defeated the Naturals. Ron Killings defeated Robert Roode. AJ Styles defeated Eric Young and Petey Williams in a 3-way. Hernandez and Senshi, which is interesting.
That's
homicide.
Very interesting.
Defeated the Voodoo Kin Mafia. In a Monsters Ball match, Christian Cage defeated Rhino. And in the main event, Kurt Angle defeated NWA World Champion Abyss.
Whoa, okay. That's actually super interesting.
Not for the title.
Not for the title, I know. But looking at the card, because it was a couple weeks ago. Do I have it here? Oh, yeah. Yeah, in November 10th, when they were in Philly and Angle beat Abyss, that was before technically their match on TV aired. And now he's still fighting Abyss on the house show, but beating him, and he's the world champion now? Whew. That's crazy. That's a very interesting. Hernandez and Senshi is interesting because there's always been that rumor of Senshi joining LAX.
Right.
So that's interesting to me. Cage and Rhino Monsters Ball, I'm sure, was a fun match for the house show. And also Senshi and Hernandez beating BG and Kip, I think, is kind of interesting as well. I'm not really surprised about that. Well, Rude losing too, whatever.
Yeah, it's funny that, Senshi potentially going LAX or whatever, but then he's more so now in the paparazzi production thing.
Yeah, he's involved in that because he's just an X Division guy. I don't know. It's weird.
I think he's more like the serious guy to kind of go against the comedy part of it to make it funnier, probably.
It seems what they were trying to do last week.
Yeah.
Okay, so my little note here, it actually talks quite a bit about the show in general, and but I just pulled out this one first part. So Dave says we didn't actually hear a lot about the show at Arena Monterrey. The promotion in Mexico was scared that with no advance at all, as noted last week. The promotion was claiming that 6,000 were in the building and 4,000 paid. The live estimates were about 4,200, which would still be the largest crowd, and with the jacked up ticket prices, by far the largest gate that TNA has ever drawn. It was a sold show in that the promoter locally paid TNA a set fee. So that's kind of interesting as well. They were satisfied enough, particularly after bad advance, that they booked a May date for a AAA versus TNA show where the idea in each side brings in 10 wrestlers for a showdown. The big angle was shot with Jeff Jarrett doing his anti-Mexican tirade. Jarrett got super heat as fans were throwing everything in the world at him after he came out throwing tortillas at the fans, which if you're unaware is a very famous heel Jeff Jarrett in Mexico thing that he apparently has been doing for a very long time. But he gets major heat doing it.
I didn't realize he was doing it even back then.
I don't know if I did either. That's why I'm so impressed about it. But yeah, that's like a big Jeff Jarrett in Mexico thing.
That's great. So they decided to book another one for May.
Yeah. It's also pointed out, I'm just skimming ahead here, that Angle versus Abyss is the main event was the weakest match.
Huh.
So that's pretty interesting. But the most over TNA guy was Angle anyways. Angle with Jarrett and Killings also getting major reactions. Oh, apparently Homicide was advertised, but he worked Ring of Honor that night. So that's why Hernandez and Senshi apparently still worked as LAX, it's saying. It's very interesting. We got mixed reports on the show with complaints that no TNA merchandise was for sale, and the special effects were much less when WWE came to the same arena. Yeah, pretty interesting.
I'm confused. How did Homicide... I would think TNA would take precedent over Ring of Honor.
Maybe they didn't care because they had Senshi available. I don't know.
Because Samoa Joe's also on that Ring of Honor show.
Oh, he's
not in Mexico.
That's weird. Huh. I wonder. Maybe it ended up paying better, and TNA got more money by putting him into Ring of Honor than versus this Mexico show.
So looking at this Ring of Honor show, which is probably on my indie notes as well, but so Daniels is on the show.
Wow.
Austin Aries. Austin Starr is on the show, and then Homicide and Samoa Joe.
Okay.
So that is interesting. Maybe they have a pretty good working relationship with Ring of Honor at this point. It has to be, right?
Ain't gonna complain about that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Bob, as I said, that is it for our pre-show notes. So it's time to get into Impact, and I got more for you during the show.
All right, well, let's get into it then. The November 30th edition of Impact. Approximate runtime is 41 minutes and 38 seconds. If you want to watch along with us, head over to the TNA Plus app, or you can find it in your own personal collection. I'm going to count down from 3. When I say play, that is when we start the show. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
TNA. We are wrestling. Of course, we're going to see some highlights from last week about TNA violating LAX's First Amendment rights. Kurt Angle, will you give yourself the satisfaction of a rematch? Will you? Oh, yes, that Father James Mitchell and Abyss opening segment I thought was pretty good, too.
Well, yeah, that was more sort of set up the main event.
Yeah, I just liked how, like, what Mitchell was saying. I thought it was kind of fun. Basically, like, Sting, you're no better than Abyss, just so you know. I like that. And there's, of course, Tomko. destroying Sting. And of course, yeah, that match just ended with them standing over Sting. Pretty fun closing segment there. And look at this. We are backstage. Giant turning point sign. We have a new female interview with LAX.
Is this my girl?
What?
I can't remember her name.
Were you trying to? Well, don't worry about it. I know who she is because I have a note that actually was on her last week's show, but it didn't make sense. No. Hold on. I'm finding the note. So apparently Jeremy Borash was removed from doing interviews. There's a problem with his look, and I guess people didn't like his style. The feeling was that they needed to get a pretty girl to do interviews, so they got a woman who
it's Letitia.
Yes, it sure is. They got a woman who works at Spike TV named Letitia, who was described to me as being as bad as, I don't know this girl, Rebecca DiPietro. I don't know if it's like a interview or somewhere else, but
I have no idea who that is.
She was super nervous aside from not having a clue how to do the job.
Well, I know Letitia because she was in Playboy and she was on Howard Stern and she rode the Sibian. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know a lot about her.
I know a lot and I've seen a lot.
Okay. Yeah. I thought I had another.
I don't know if the Howard Stern thing though is if that's after this. I'll look it up.
I thought I had another note about her, but it might be on our next week episode, so we're going to hold on to that. Instead, Christian Cage is coming out, and I do have Christian Cage notes. Apparently, he's been pushing for TNA to bring in Travis Tomko from just about the time that he started. The idea has always been for 2006 that Christian Cage would win the title, turn heel on Sting, and then it would lead to him meeting potentially at the December pay-per-view where Sting would get the title if he was staying or put Christian over if he wasn't. Now, of course, that changed greatly over the course of the year, but he had pushed for this when he did his turn that Tomko would be joining him. So he's actually been wanting this for quite some time.
Oh, I didn't hear a word you said. I've been looking up Letitia Klein.
Okay. The short version, for those who did listen, is that he's been wanting Tomko here since he turned heel.
Oh, okay, Christian. Okay, got you. Okay. I'm trying to find out this Howard Stern thing for Letitia, and I think it's got to be after. Yeah, it's got to be.
Oh, he's giving us a formal introduction?
Okay. So Letitia appears in Playboy after her TNA run.
Really?
Yeah. And then I don't know if you've ever seen the show The Beauty and the Geek.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it, but
she was on that show as well. I actually enjoyed that show.
For research purposes, Letitia, TNA. TNA wants to try to put the screws to me. Oh, shit. Dude, you can get a Letitia signed TNA 8x10 for $8. This is awesome. This is awesome. I'm so good that come Turning Point, and it's going to be a single threat match because he's going to take out both his opponents tonight. Abyss, we got a little something for you.
What?
You know this man, Abyss? Don't you? Because he sure as hell knows you. Wait, do they have a history?
He's his brother.
Could you imagine? Don't you and Tomko get real?
We were both in the same mental hospital.
Oh. They've crossed paths before.
Dude, he's gonna be his brother. You burned my family. Convinced of it.
Oh, Abyss looks kind of scared. Oh my God, Christian with the R words, dude.
2006 was a wild time.
It really was.
You can just drop R words like it's no problem.
You remember him, huh? Okay, what do you remember him from by? This is going too long.
No, here's the thing. It's probably nothing.
Here comes Sting. From the ceiling.
Is it a body bag? That's not Sting.
Oh, it's fake Sting.
It's a dummy.
Oh, because he's in the ring.
There's
Tomko took a back bump to avoid that baseball bat, but. How long were Christian and Tomko buddies before this?
So, like on TV for WWE, I want to say it's realistically not that long. Like you would think, oh, it's years and years. I don't even know if it's much more than a year. Okay, so like 2004, Tomko is on television.
So Sting wants to meet with Abyss tonight, but now we are going back to Project Cease and Desist here. BG says you can sign this paper or we can go to war. It's the same thing. Remember CNN Center? This is the same thing we did when we worked for you.
I'm going to say roughly 2 years, 04 and 05.
Interesting.
But I feel like the more memorable run is 2005. Before Christian goes to SmackDown and leaves. So it's probably really like a year that they're attached. Yeah.
Oh my God, we're backstage during the break. LAX is attacking AMW.
Oh, what James the hell?
Storm. It's just James Storm, bloodied. We need some help. Letitia is here.
Letitia.
Apparently, speaking of LAX, Conan is going to get his hip replacement surgery done after the Turning Point pay-per-view. He's needing a cane to get around, so he's not moving very well.
Interesting.
Here comes Chris Sabin.
Indie note here for Chris Sabin. November 24th, Chris Sabin defeated Ricky Reyes at UWA's Hardcore Return of the Phoenix in Canada.
Nice.
And I want to shout out Ricky Reyes, incredibly underrated wrestler. Harris is going to go find LAX. Daniels is on commentary, by the way. Oh, Lethal and Dutt already in the ring. Oh,
wait,
three-way
these guys
number
are friends.
Not anymore, dude. They hate each other.
What?
Also on that UWA show on November 24th, Sonjay Dutt retained the UWA Grand Prix Championship when he defeated Okada.
Oh, wow. The Okada?
The Okada.
Oh, my God.
And also on November 24th, Jay Lethal was not on that show. He was instead with IWA Mid-South, and he lost to Chuck Taylor in a match for the IWA Mid-South Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, wow.
I love when people do moonsaults and only their foreheads connect. Just like Jay Lethal did right there.
Well, Sabin's out of the ring. Now we got Dutt and Lethal going at it. These guys are literally a tag team, but okay.
Yeah, but singles glory is better than tag team glory.
Look at that Turning Point poster over there with Angle yelling. Roll up by Dutt. Nope.
I would imagine, why wouldn't we just do Daniel Sabin again? We're going to make Sabin have to win a number one contenders match?
Yeah, I mean, that's clearly who's winning this, right?
I would imagine, yeah. Unless you do Sabin Lynn at Turning Point and one of these other guys win.
Does Jerry wrestle much more, though?
Jerry wrestles until 2013.
Okay, but in TNA?
Well, not in TNA. Yeah. Because a lot of that is, indies and Ring of Honor.
I mean, anything's possible. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a one-off here or there. It would make sense.
Sure. I think that they're aiming to do a Sabin Lynn.
Whoa,
Yeah,
Sabin just stole it. Yeah, really flat. Crowd's not even really popping off that one.
No. So Lethal just did a dragon suplex, and then Sabin pinned Dutt after that.
I really, really don't like this weird heel Chris Sabin.
I'm not digging it.
By the way, Daniels was on commentary that whole time, so Sabin's going over to him now. What are you talking about? This piece of trash? He points to Don West.
Yeah, only Don is a piece of trash. What the fuck?
Oh, Daniels throws down the headset.
Jerry.
Oh, there's Jerry. The X Division pioneer, Jerry Lynn. You can pick up your Jerry Lynn Ring of Honor figure at Jazzer's Vault.
Does it come with the title or no?
Yeah, it comes with a Ring of Honor title.
Oh, it does. Okay, cool.
It's not the title. They don't have rights to it, but it comes with a Ring of Honor title.
How do you not have rights to that?
I don't know either. Wait, we're in the back again.
Is this Harris getting beat up now?
Yep.
Oh my God, they're choking him from the railing or the rope.
Well, Gail Kim is here for the save.
Dallas,
Kurt Angle be next in their lineup.
Gail Kim just ran off LAX.
No, I think they were just done with what they were doing. Wait. Whoa. LAX versus Kurt Angle and Petey Williams for the titles? What in the fuck? What did that just say, Bob? Where are we? We're with the cease and desist thing again. We're at a house. Yeah. By the way, there are apparently legal reasons having to do with trademarks why TNA keeps using the names Paul Levesque and Michael Hickenbottom. The James King have been told they can mention Vince McMahon's name because it's his real name, but not Triple H or Shawn Michaels because they aren't real names.
Oh my God. Well, that makes sense. They're using a traffic cone as a megaphone.
Oh, something about Kit being owed money still. Give up now and there will be no further consequences. To be continued. Bob, is this not, awful?
I don't like this stuff.
Wait, we're back in the Impact Zone. Ms. Brooks is in the crowd. The CEO. She's grilling them on the whereabouts of Eric Young. She's trying to get some business done. Oh, JB here with the spotlight.
Yeah, so much for Letitia.
He's not interviewing. He's doing this now.
Oh, okay.
And I have a note next week, so we'll talk more about it. But if you notice, he's selling DVDs, which is what Don West used to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Although you will be happy to know, Bob, that on the list, oh my God, we're advertising the action figures. Look at this Mojo figure. Look at this Sting one. In the Billboard Sports DVDs charts for the November 25th issue, wrestling titles, the Best of the X Division Volume 2 came in at number 7. I love this Turning Point graphic.
At least they're able to get some good DVD sales, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been fascinated that compilations do arguably better than regular events.
Well, number 1 is the Hulk Hogan Ultimate Anthology.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I have a tough time sitting there watching 8 hours of basically the same guy.
I mean, I understand that.
No matter who it is.
See, but I always was a compilation guy because before, you could have the network, it was well, if I want to watch, for example, the Hell in a Cell DVD. Well, I got all the Hell in a Cells, well, at the time, on my DVD. I can just pick which ones I want to watch. I don't have to buy all those pay-per-views.
Right. That makes sense.
We're doing a sit-down interview with AJ Styles. He's wearing leather, which is usually a key indicator that he turned heel.
AJ's saying that they're going to get through it.
Red flag number 2, situation with Rhino. What's mistrust? Seems like the guy wants something from me. You hear the music in the background? This is very serious.
Yeah.
Nobody comes around unless they want something. We're around each other all the time. That's what you commentate while I'm in the ring. You have no clue, he says. You think you know me? Let me tell you a little about AJ Styles. Oh, Styles saying that it was maybe fashionable when Tenay had a black and white TV when he's growing up, but not when I was. Sorry I embarrassed you, AJ. You think you embarrassed me? Does it look like I need your help? It's a fair point. Oh shit, he's yelling at Tenay like he's Jeff Jarrett. Something I love to do, wrestle. Let's just talk about that. Okay, well, let's talk more about not about wrestling. Oh, here's Rhino. This is like Dr. Phil, bro. Or like Jerry Springer shit. Well, let's bring in someone that we need to talk about. And so, Jerry's literally sitting right there.
We have a friend that wants to talk to them.
That's what they're doing.
His name's Terry. You might know him as Rhino. This is like a big brother, little brother type of thing. I mean, like the little brother's like, fuck you, I don't want to listen to you.
Yep. Well, I'll wait. I want to see what else is being said here. How do we keep ending up at the same place at the same time? I don't know.
We work
AJ.
for the same company, AJ, number one. They book our flights. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, I'm not following you. I mean,
I wish I hated that more than I did.
No, that's fine. That gives a reason, I guess. But
yeah. Drug test today. Oh, at the PCS for the Paparazzi Productions. Oh, Sonjay, Senchi, and Jay Lethal, Austin Starr. Oh, that's a lot of pee. Apparently, it's not a prostate exam. He lost his championship ring somewhere. Up IXL's ass, it seems.
Yeah.
No anabolic steroids, much to my chagrin.
Shelly has the clap? Is that what he just said?
I think so, yeah. You guys stay behind and you talk to you? He's kicking out the X Division guys, but Starr and Shelly are being told to stay back. I'm going to get the W for you. Oh, Shelly said he'll get 2 of them. Okay, I will say, Bob, I think we're making, the PCS starting December 10th.
A turning point.
We're in the ring. We have Lance Hoyt and Ron Killings. It appears to be against Austin Starr and Alex Shelley.
So they're cutting entrances, it seems like, to maybe make more time.
Yep, for segments and stuff, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Indie notes here. Alex Shelley was on that UWA show, and he retained the UWA Light Heavyweight Championship when he defeated Dan Payson. And then Austin Aries was busy for Ring of Honor last weekend, November 24th. Aries teamed with Roderick Strong in a losing effort against the Kings of Wrestling, Chris Hero and Claudio Castagnoli, in a tag team title match. No disqualification. Kings of Wrestling retaining. And then on November 25th, Davey Richards defeated Austin Aries.
Nice. Some good stuff. I'll give you some notes as well during this match because I feel like there's not going to be tons to talk about as Ron Killings takes out Paparazzi Productions on the floor.
The crowd seems like they are into Hoyt and Killings.
Yes, I agree with that. Sonic Rivals move of the week. The company is hopeful.
Or they're into it because Eric Young is there.
Oh, he's in the crowd.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why. The company is hopeful its contractual problems with the Dish Network will be settled by December 10th, and we're not of the impression it will be a long-term issue. TNA does far more buys on in-demand and DirecTV than Dish Network. Is only expected to cost maybe 4% drop in buys from what they would have done. And as a secondary note, because it's on technically the next edition of the Observer, December 6th versus the 4th, it's noted that they will be on Dish Network for Turning Point. A new contract hasn't been signed, and right now they only have temporary commitment for the next pay-per-view. Don West was on air, which I'm sure we'll see eventually, specifically plugging Dish Network on this week's show, and there's nothing in place of the January show, but they're pretty confident by January they'll have worked out the deal for the new contract. Shelley get the win.
Handful of tights there, though, when they're rolling.
Well, Star has got the camera ready to go. He's got the paparazzi cam in his hands. Wait a second. Is Star exposing Shelley for cheating?
He's snitching on his own partner.
Oh, Penzer appearance.
Oh, my.
No. Reversed as part of a disqualification?
For a handful of tights?
That's stupid. Oh, we're backstage with Tisha. She's found Eric Young. Miss Brooks says, I'm in something important here. Are you accepting my challenge, yes or no? It's not even a question anymore. Oh, wait, how does she have authority to fire Eric Young?
Oh,
she challenged me to a contest.
He doesn't know that she doesn't.
Oh my God, they're going to actually do the bikini contest? Oh my God. Look at this, another serotonin package. Violence, suffering, pain, blood. We saw Divine and Maverick Matt with face paint on. Scary looking Kazarians.
I still don't understand. Coming soon. They've already been on television. They've been on pay-per-view. Did they forget this?
Okay, we're back from commercial as Sting was making his way to the ring, but we are here with Operation Cease and Desist part something. I'm willing to stay here all night at 1:23 a.m.
Are they literally outside of the headquarters right there?
Yeah. That's like the front door, isn't it?
I think so.
Is he naked putting oil all over himself? No, they actually shot that segment on their television show. We're America's last line of defense between that and good television.
Lord knows that ain't true.
I don't like these. For more exclusive VCAM clips, go to TNAWrestling.com. We're never going to know. Well, Sting's coming out again to have an in-ring conversation with Abyss now.
About what?
The title.
You lost.
Well, speaking of Abyss, he's going to be defending the 1PW belt against Brother Runt on the TNA show in January 5th in Lisbon, Portugal. 1PW is also trying to get a 1PW title defense in the U.S. during January, so isn't that fun? Oh, I got a quick funny one for you since he's still like coming out here. You remember Scott Steiner?
Yeah, the big bad booty daddy.
Yeah, well, nobody apparently even brings his name up anymore.
Wow.
So he's cooked in TNA. Okay, Sting just goes, "Come out, Abyss," and he's
what
coming.
was even was there a falling out, or they just stopped using him?
I don't know. I think they just stopped using him. I do think there was maybe one match that he like didn't want to do the job to or something, but I can't even remember.
Well, he had the match with Joe that they made like a big deal.
There was
Kind
something
of left at that.
Yeah. It looks like Abyss is coming alone. I do believe that was part of the request earlier in the show. You can get the Third Degree Burns CD at TNAWrestling.com. I saw in the bottom corner. I saw that earlier as well. It's just the entrance themes.
Of the wrestlers?
Yeah, I'll look it up right now.
Why is it called Third Degree Burns?
I don't know.
Because it's that fire?
I'm looking it up so we can get a full track listing. Oh my god, it's on Spotify.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh wait, this is like the two that they uploaded it in 2009. Okay, songs. Sting. Oh wait, there's two Stings. The prequel and the regular. Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe, another Samoa Joe, Christy Hemme.
Ron Killings
Rhino.
on
there? No.
Wow.
Raven prequel and Raven screen. There's like prequels is like I think like little intros to their songs.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett, AJ Styles, Raven, Alex Shelley, Abyss, AMW, James Gang, Gail Kim, Shark Boy, Christian Cage, and Adrenaline Rush. That's pretty much it. Sting says, I don't know anything about your past. I don't know what mysteries lie behind you. What matters is that you're a bona fide champion. You're a great athlete. But at Genesis, you let Jim Mitchell lead you around like a little puppy dog. I want to know why. Why do you let him lead you around like that? Like your little puppet. Does he think Abyss is going to talk right now?
Yeah, and he's going to be like, I'm looking for someone to lead me around.
Suck it. What if he goes, it's showtime?
It's showtime, folks.
Okay, Abyss is sat down in the chair like he's sad now.
He's going through therapy.
He's going through therapy. Is it because you want to be your own champion now or your own man? This is a funny thought. Like, I guess, spoiler, to my knowledge, I could be wrong. Abyss does not speak for at least 4 more years. So,
Oh, 4?
To my knowledge, he ain't. Does he? Oh, there's laughing. It's Jim Mitchell.
I don't know if it's that long, is it?
It's not until Hogan comes, isn't it?
Oh, no way.
He talks before that?
Yeah, he's talking when he's like doing the white thing.
Oh shit. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 more years. I'm surprised that he's not doing it right here. I'm just saying. With Vince Russo writing, I'm surprised we're not like, he needs to talk.
It might be a little while, but I don't think it's that long.
Okay, fine. Well, James Mitchell basically telling Sting to save his own soul. Could Sting be getting in the mind of Jim Mitchell? You stop worrying about him and worry about you, Abyss. You make your own choices. Sunday, December 10th. Oh. Okay. Jim Cornette has ordered it. It's Abyss versus Sting, but also Christian Cage. Hell yeah. Oh, Christian and Tomko attacking Abyss from behind. They did say they were going to take him out.
Sting, help him. Oh my God, is he going to hit the reverse TKO? He did, kind of. Wow. Oh, now Sting comes back after the damage is done. Wow. If that's not a tag match we're going to get, I don't know what is.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Is Abyss going to accept Sting's hand in friendship? Oh, my God. He looks afraid.
Oh, he's afraid.
Oh. Here comes the mastermind.
Oh, Mitchell is not looking happy. He gets in the middle. He slaps Sting. This is all about control. I swear he's laughing. Hey, that was weird. Okay, Letitia's backstage with Petey Williams. Oh, well, LAX is on a tirade, and immediately they walk in and get it. I think Conan tripped because he can't run very well, and he's just grabbing the legs.
I can't believe Letitia's not even bothering to help.
Kurt Angle, I got a question for you. How are you going to fight LAX tonight all by yourself? He took out his partner.
It's a good question. What are you going to do? Nothing.
Okay, well, LAX is already in the ring, too, so here comes Kurt Angle. I don't like this cut entrance thing, to be honest with you.
I'm not liking either. I have 2 indie notes here for Homicide.
Oh, okay.
November 24th, Homicide lost to Jimmy Rave at Ring of Honor's Black Friday Fallout. And on November 25th, which is the same day as that Mexico show, Homicide team up with Samoa Joe in a Falls Count Anywhere Tag Team Elimination Street Fight to defeat the Briscoe Brothers at Ring of Honor's Dethroned.
Well, I might as well give you some notes, too, as Kurt Angle's coming out. The plan is to do as many pay-per-view shows as possible next year outside of Orlando. I know that Laredo is out until April at the earliest because the arena has what is a stip WWE is trying to do as much as they can. Whereas if they run a house show, they don't want any other wrestling in the building for 2 months before the show and 2 months after the show. WWE has a date in the city in January. TNA is looking for a border town because they want to feature LAX on a show and like the atmosphere of the, as he writes, rabid Mexican fans. They're very excited.
How can WWE get away with that?
I don't know. They still do it now.
I don't get it. I don't understand how they can just be like, you can't have another show here for this period of time.
I know.
I don't get it.
Okay, so Kurt Angle's fighting LAX in a handicap match, essentially. USA. Another note for you. You remember when the building caught on fire at Hard Justice?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, TNA ended up being fined $225 after that fire took place on the August 13th pay-per-view. OSHA conducted an investigation of the Universal Studios after the fire. And the fine was for not having an adequate emergency action plan. So from this point forward at TNA events, specific employees have to be designated to have a portable fire extinguisher as part of their emergency action plan.
Did you say $225?
Correct.
That's it?
Yep.
Oh.
I think I only have one more note, and it's related to this match, so I'll hang on to that at the moment. I'm double checking, though. Yeah, I only got one more. It's Kurt Angle tosses Hernandez like he's nothing. Hey, that's what Don West just said. That's funny. Here comes Homicide in with Angle.
Clubbing away on Kurt.
Ducks the clothesline, comes back, tilt to whirl, backbreaker.
Uh-oh. Bring down the straps already. It usually means that. Oh, Olympic Slam! No.
Chop block.
Chop block. Well, where's Samoa Joe to protect this guy?
Exactly.
Interesting.
Pretty.
Oh my God! You don't. Now what you said is Joe gonna come out here and then they're gonna win the tag titles like you said?
Oh fuck! Because this is a tag team title match.
It is.
Oh.
Oh
no! On fucking cue, dude. No.
Oh my God.
I was joking, Bob. I was joking. I take it back. And just remember, they're not supposed to be champions. Technically, they can't win them. Damn it.
I cannot believe this.
Oh, no, this is not.
This is the worst thing. If LAX loses the tag titles to Joe and Angle, that'd be the worst thing they can do. Do Angle and Joe need the tag team titles for their feud? The answer to that question is absolutely not.
No, it makes no sense. Getting fired up. He wants the tag. Hot tag to Samoa Joe. Fucking A, dude. Samoa Joe going after LAX. Kick to Homicide. And then Hernandez is going to come back. Irish whip countered by Samoa Joe. Atomic drop. Great running kick. Little senton.
Snap power slam to Homicide.
Coming off the ropes. Nope. Going for a cutter. Drops down to the coquina clutch. Dude.
No, don't.
Kurt Angle in the ankle lock with Hernandez. Wait. Jim Corn. Okay, the ref's calling for the bell, but Jim Cornette's over there. Did we just get a screw job? Because they're not tapping. Oh, yeah, we did. We got a screw job. 'Tis the season, Bob. It's November.
Yeah.
Conan, their lawyer from IWA Puerto Rico, and Jim Cornette are arguing at ringside. Oh, wait.
Because Joe's not contractually obligated.
Yeah, so it's a no contest.
Good.
It's 2 weeks.
Thank God.
It's 2 weeks in a row of a no contest main event, though.
That's wrestling, my friend. That's the Vince Russo booking.
Ooh. Well, I'll tell you what.
I mean, it's almost just as bad as losing because they visually are in submission situations where they're gonna give up.
Well, and it's their finishers.
Hey,
but they
whoa,
were
Kurt.
Oh,
Kurt shook the hand.
Okay. By quick note for you, as they're shaking hands here at the end of the show. Oh, we're going off the air. Homicide was apparently really upset when Angle popped his ear during that TV match. He was so mad that he wanted to go right there, but he kept himself under control. So apparently Angle must have knocked Homicide pretty good at one point.
I'm telling you, when he came in with those punches, he was clubbing him.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
He's had bad luck with ears because I think he ruptured Carino's years ago.
Adrenaline rush, adrenaline rush, adrenaline rush, adrenaline rush. We're seeing the highlights from the show we just watched. Are we going to close with another Cease and Desist? It doesn't look like it.
No.
Nope, we're going off the air officially. Okay. What did you think of that one, Bob?
Not as good as last week's.
No, I don't think it was either.
I wouldn't say it was bad. It was all right.
Exactly. That's how I feel. Last week's was like, I would argue, a very strong post pay-per-view show. This one was okay.
Yeah. So it was definitely okay.
There is so much going on during these episodes. It's almost like they desperately need the 2 hours, except just like the primetime one. They're just going to do the same thing, but for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, we're jumping segment to segment. We've officially cut out entrances, it looks like, in a lot of matches, or at least for the lower stars. And there's so much going on.
I feel like if they were to have 2 hours, they wouldn't know what to do with the 2 hours, and they would just fill it with stuff that doesn't need to be filled.
I'm sure. Yeah,
they would probably be better off doing like an hour and a half.
Yeah, but that's not like a thing.
I know it's not a thing, but I feel like that would be the perfect in between.
I don't disagree.
But I gotta get the 2 hours. Although, I mean, technically, when you have 2 hours, you're really only doing an hour and a half of content.
Right.
Roughly. A little less than an hour and a half.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think it was bad. I can't believe we only have 1 week and then it's turning point already. I mean, it's pretty crazy that we're flying right now, it feels like. It is kind of interesting, too, because correct me if I'm wrong, we're seeing Sting quite consistently these couple weeks, whereas I feel like in the past builds, he kind of just, he might make an appearance, and then he's kind of just disappeared, and they just show the segments a lot. So we're seeing a lot more of Sting, I feel like. We've seen Angle every show since he's signed.
Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering with Sting if they have 6 appearances that they need to use to justify the contract. So they're just going to...
So they're pumping him out at the end. That makes sense.
Because there were several times where you had breaks where he wasn't even doing anything.
That's what I mean.
So...
Well, and
then realistically, at the turn of the new year, if he were to sign, it's different appearances again.
That's what I was saying. Or about to say is, if he resigns, I don't know if he's gonna. At the end of this year could be very interesting. Could he win the title back? I would say if he does, that's a very clear sign he's going to win or resign. I mean, if he doesn't, that doesn't mean he's not going to, but maybe they felt they had to take the title off him quicker. I don't know.
My guess is that if Sting doesn't retain or doesn't regain the title, something will happen where we don't see him again until Lockdown.
Holy crap.
That's what I'm thinking. And then it's going to be like the same. It's like a formula, nothing, lockdown is the anniversary, break, Bound for Glory.
So it's like very end of the year heavy.
That's what I'm thinking.
Could definitely happen.
Yeah. So,
well, time will tell, but we have officially our main event for Turning Point. It's a 3-way. It's Abyss, Christian Cage, and Sting. Dark Sting, dare I say. All going at it for the world title. Is that the only official match we have?
I mean, I would assume LAX and AMW would. I mean, official, yeah. I don't think there's anything else that's official.
Because technically,
or Daniel Sabin.
Oh yeah, we just got. Okay, yes, we just saw that. We literally just watched it.
Match.
Okay, so Daniel Sabin. My guess is Sabin's going to regain now.
I would have to think so.
If not, what are you doing? And then if Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle continue to help each other, it seems that we may actually get that rematch as well at Turning Point.
I think we're absolutely in Joe and Angle.
Or Joe Angle versus LAX tag titles at Turning Point.
No.
America's Most Wanted just got taken out, dude.
No. It's got to...
Ooh, I hate it.
Just throw away.
I know. Well, maybe they could help each other for like 2 months.
No.
Yeah, I agree, but... Well, we will find out. We have one more week. And if they don't start telling us matches, it's going to be about to be a 2-match show.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's definitely feeling like a filler pay-per-view already to me, but that's okay. We've had filler pay-per-views that have held up pretty good, so.
I don't know if I'm saying if there's another Joe Angle match, I don't think that's a filler. And then a 3-way for the heavyweight title? I don't know. That doesn't feel like a filler to me.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not that I dislike. Yeah, I haven't. Well, because the thing is, like, I guess you could technically say that Genesis was technically supposed to be like a filler pay-per-view because it's in between Bound for Glory and Turning Point, but then they did Joe Angle.
Right.
Okay, fine. I guess it's not technically.
Yeah, like, I don't.
It's just hard. It's hard to have a strong pay-per-view with 3 weeks.
Sure. Right. Okay. Yeah.
On paper, I think we're looking good, but we just saw Daniels and Sabin. We just saw that match. Right. We just saw Joe Angle.
It might be filler in the sense of like rematches, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's the way I'm looking at it.
But not
story-wise. We're not like. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. I can get behind that.
Aligned.
Yeah. All right. Well, one thing's for sure is that next week's Impact is not going to be a filler because it's the go-home show before Turning Point. So we'll probably get some last-minute understanding as to what to expect at Turning Point. So be sure to join us for that. Until then, for Dallas Gridley, I am Bob Colling Jr., and this has been the TNA Cross the Line Podcast.